Hi, this is Regeline Sabat, also known as Gigi. You're listening to Walk With Me podcast. My guest today is Gurleen Khokhar. She's an international psychologist, a transformational speaker, writer, and editor. Welcome to the show, Gurleen.
It's my honor, Rigolin, to be with you on this show because it is indeed a pleasure to be hosted by such a beautiful and fantastic soul who's doing terrific job. And not only that, I think it's about learning from each other and growing. And henceforth, I am honored and delighted that my mentor also came on this show, Michelle Maras. And I'm so honored and delighted that you took a call of this divine connect and connected to me. It's my pleasure. It's a feeling of feeling blessed. And how may I state in words that it is wonderful from India to connect to someone in Florida.
I love it. Likewise. Now, tell us more about what inspired you to become an international psychologist.
Wonderful, Regalin. This is something that just happened overnight. I would say people dream about it. People think that, you should go global. I felt being an Indian, I always felt the idea behind network is net worth. I felt that I am a great social soul. So I took upon the wings of a butterfly and I felt that I need to connect to people who are in distress. So when I faced my divorce battle in 2014 to 16, I felt that I need to create an identity of my own globally. And I started approaching people from LinkedIn, a business platform which believes in providing business to people. And from there on, I felt there are many souls calling me up for relationship issues. And from there, I think the journey picked up, and I was being flashed in the newspapers and the magazines as a public figure, dealing with cases, numerous cases wherein I solved many people who were having issues conceiving kids to people who patched up in their relationships. Despite the fact that I underwent my own divorce battle, I was the talk of the town. In Punjab, I was the only brave lady facing my own battle. But on the contrary, I was being looked upon as a great counselor, a great healer. And from there on, I think the word passed on from a businessman to other people, and suddenly it happened. And I felt like, oh my God, this is a blessing from Divine Connect. I need to be helping people live better lives. Even if you have faced a failure in a relationship, doesn't mean that you cannot work upon others. And sometimes people get stuck up in relationships or in certain situations that they would love to have mentors guiding them who have faced those failures, and that becomes a great tactic for them to move on in life and achieve what they truly want to achieve. So I have been that beautiful soul, having those wings like a butterfly, flying from one soul in abroad to another and connecting to people from Brazil to America to London. And I feel so honored to Australia, to Brisbane. And it just happened that I just also happened to be there on a podcast which is ranked 23rd in the world. And it is hosted by Suzanne Catlin. I felt so amazing that that lady actually told me that you are an Indian version of Coco Chanel, Gurleen. You are doing really well. How about dressing me one day? Despite being a psychologist, I've served as a model. So, not only that, I feel that I have been now writing in newspapers about the journey that I lived as a child to a lady who I am. Going through all the struggles makes me achieve this, and just this tag of it becomes even more a responsibility to look into that. I should stand up to my own expectations rather than competing with people around me. And I always feel, being a defense officer's daughter, my father is a proud figure for the country, for the India. It's an honor to have Shaurya Chakra as a gallantry award, and I feel that my father has served the nation, Indian Air Force, and I believe that I have to live up to the expectations not only of my family but of the honor of the country, and serve back to the globe as well, because I think that's a responsibility of every soul who's walking on this earth. And that's why I'm here connected to you for Walk With Me, a cause that has to be seen, heard, and applauded for, Regaline.
That's right. Absolutely correct. Now, tell us more about your motivational platform.
Oh, wonderful. That's a brilliant question that you've asked. Well, I kicked off this platform for celebrating pains, Regaline, because people are there celebrating joys in this world. And I truly felt that it is amazing to celebrate and listen to the stories of people who are facing struggles in their life. So I had a collective thought in my mind that why not, after my divorce battle, collectively call in people from various walks of life on the stage in less than 20 minutes, have them share their stories, from a layman to an officer, to a young girl studying in the college, to a gentleman wearing the uniform. All were there on the platform sharing their stories. And also, I provided them the files so that they can pen down their issues if they have any, and I could provide them psychological assistance. So that was something in between. I also provided them entertainment. So that platform's name, SOCH Ki Udan Desh Ke Naam, kicked off on May 10th, 2017. It was there in the newspapers flashing around. The beauty about how we can still connect when we are in pain. There are people sitting in home having loneliness, depressive symptoms, but people don't want to accept the fact, and they don't want to bring their inner potential to a level where they can thrive on knowing their capabilities, knowing their power. And it only happens when you are in pain that you realize that you have a hidden strength within you, and your soul outcries that fact that you have the strength, my darling, to move on. Whether it's a female or a male, whether it's a child, whether it's an older person, I believe that everybody has a right to express and exhibit their inner potential on a stage. And it helped people to conquer their fear in a way that actually received a lot of appreciation from every corner. Wherever I went, my platform's name, Soch Ki Udan Desh Ke Naam, was highlighted and was talked about, because I feel that connectivity is one thing, but throwing in unconditional love to the people who are facing struggles in life is indeed an honor. Because people label mental health issues and they sideline people who are facing such issues. So if you really see in India, people do not approach psychologists very easily. To befriend people and to befriend strangers was one thing that I felt that it's a taboo. And to break all the barriers and hesitation, I felt that this platform will give people an edge, wherein people can also have parties in a month and they can actually connect to each other and have the comfort of moving out of their own comfort zone. So basically, the idea behind was that they should connect to everybody, they should get psychological assistance, and they should share their pain. So the audience sitting in there would be having some entertainment as well as inspiration from the souls coming on the stage and sharing the life stories. From there, I felt that this was something that actually took my heart away, and I felt that I need to theme these platforms and conduct them in a way where I talked about sexuality, sex, and also live in relationships. I conducted them in Air Force institutes to Defense Officers Institute and themed them on the women empowerment and all these things, that I felt that it was actually a driving force for me to exhibit my potential as an anchor, as a transformational speaker, transforming many lives. And not only that, it was something that when you get unconditional love from the audience back, it was keeping me moving on. And from that platform only, I started off a group named Difference Makers. It's a WhatsApp group where people join from all the countries and they share and give employment opportunities. So that was again an added advantage, a feather to the cap. From there, it shooted out to be another idea, that is Hello Conversations. And I started my Deep Talks program. So under Soch Ki Udan, there have been many ideas popping in and out, and they are the baby products of the main father figure. And I feel that because my father is an aviator, I have caught his wings and put them on me to fly and achieve all the dreams I have in my life. And that comes as something that my mother always told me. That she was born in Kenya. She always told me that be the brave lady, be the bold lady, and never give up on something, because others say many things, but you have to stand on your own grounds to achieve what you want to in life. And her being the bold and superwoman in 80s and 70s, driving the ESTs and shooting off the stars, was something that always made me feel that, darling, Soch Ki Udan Desh Ke Naam, Difference Makers, Hello Conversations, Deep Talks, these are the platforms where people can relate to and totally get inspired from, and people can say hello to even the strangers and connect. And network is net worth. I always feel it is important to have the company that you really can, which is positive, progressive, and can give you an output. And the biggest competition we are all fighting is with others. But I totally believe as a psychologist that the biggest competition we are facing with is with us, with our own inner work, with our own inner self. And if we don't work out with our own inner self and accept our weaknesses, we are actually trying to put a face that's only for the outer world. And then we cry in the night thinking, why aren't we satisfied? So that makes me start off these platforms, and I'm very, very glad that globally people are coming on my love seat and talking about their connects in their lives and talking about who they are. Apart from the achievements, on Deep Talks, people are talking about their experiences that they have faced from who they were to who they are. So that connects the psychological help people need in the current time, even during the pandemic. There has been a loss in the relationships, and a lot of people have fallen apart from what they were to what they are. A lot of business has gone down. So it gives a platform to everybody to connect and feel empowered truly. And those topics, especially, so because I feel those bold topics which people don't talk about openly on platforms, I'm known for it. I'm known for it in Punjab, or I'm known for it braving the storms, challenging many, many ideas and taboos which people think that you cannot talk about extramarital affairs, live in relations, or something like that. I felt that deep talks is something that only will happen in the night. So I structured in a way where I make sure that all the people who are coming on the love seat will open up their heart and mind out, and it will clear a lot of stress. It will clear a lot of myths about that you cannot provide sex education, you can't talk about it. I think it's the right of every person to talk about it, because apart from the conservative societies, you have to open up, because the times are changing. There is a generation gap, and we need to fulfill certain roles and responsibilities in a way so that people don't fall astray to substance abuse and all that stuff, which is toxic not only for their self but people around. So I believe, Regilin, that if you have a thought in mind, if you have to put some energy into it, you have to condition it every single moment, because I believe the power within us is even more than what Lord has designed for us. And the universe conspires if you really think loud enough and you have a voice that can mar the negativity around. And actually nobody can mar the success if you really feel the passion towards driving down a point to the public that there is no breakdown that can actually you know stop you from achieving what you want in your life. And just because I became an author recently on 22nd of November, that becomes an amazing opportunity for me to be globally acknowledged as a public figure. And it is an honor to be featured amongst 14 foreigners, being the only Indian. It was not easy for me, but this is something that I talked about, not only to gain some pity or empathy or sympathy from people. It is something that will make people learn a lesson that if you're taking a responsibility while committing your thoughts to a person, then you have to put them into actions as well. So being a man in the uniform, which I'm truly stating that he serves 14 mechanized infantry, the Indian army, one has to realize how much committed you were when you got married at the age of 28. And as a kid you can make mistakes and fail, but as an adult you have to take the responsibility, and you should not spoil other person's life and career and let them be who they are later on, and get remarried and have your own life settled. Do not be self-centered. Keep an approach where the other partner also evolves and grows with you. So here comes the point in India where people feel that it's an easy game to have a marriage and have a woman coming in as a servant or as a slave. And I was not that doormat. I think I took the call, I took that inner voice of me, and I penned my story in Breakdown to Wake Up, the author curated by Jocelyn Bellows and published in United Kingdom by Don Bates. I feel very honored and privileged that I have been successful in proving to be there amongst the chosen 14 foreigners and mark a niche where I feel that being an Indian, I have raised the bar of not only India but my parents and Lord above, who's seeing that I'm doing good work for the globe, and I would keep marching ahead because that is what I feel I should be doing. So I really feel honored to be on this show as well, because Walking Words was my first article in the magazine when I was an editor in the college. And apart from that, I have been inking many things only on the walk. So this walk was also destined when you had given me a call, and I was like, oh my God, this is Walk with Me. I need to get connected because this is my walk as well. And when I saw that you have written a book, Walk with Me, it's the number one bestseller on Amazon, I was like, oh my God, who knows? Breakdown to Wake Up also achieves that rank, because this is something that we are talking about the real experiences of people, and they have had their heart out while inking this. I'm sure all of them have put their worth in, and everybody needs to learn a lesson from these stories because they create a lot of impact, because they indeed are a story for others, but it is a living example for us what we faced. And it takes a lot of courage, it takes a lot of you know I would say a lot of emotional and intelligence balance together for achieving this. And it's the biggest achievement of my life, I would say. I always dreamt about being an author, and just becoming a co-author, it is something on international platforms. I'm saying this on your show, that it's amazingly indeed terrific enough for me to even air out the passionate love story wherein truly I believe that a man steps in and wins a lady with a diamond ring, and the story goes on, and then you face those breakdowns when in-laws come in and they do some superstitious activities on you. There's physical abuse, there's mental harassment, there are questions of dowry, and then there are questions related to greed and many malpractices, which I never bow down to. And as an inner power which stated that, Gurleen, you need to be the voice for the globe. You need to move on. You need to say that even if intercaste marriages are an example of love for some people, for majority, it might not turn up the way you want them to be. But even today, I had this thought that, I'm going to talk about this man's name on this episode. So it is Major Saurabh Kumar Singh. And today he would be Lieutenant Colonel, if I'm sure. I congratulate him for the success in his life, and he's got remarried, must be having a child. I'm sure if he's watching it, or if he watches on later with the unit members, I'm sure whatever he did, he needs to realize that, no lady on this earth is weak. No woman is weak. It is something that when you actually get into habits of doing something negative on someone and spoiling someone's career or life, you need to think larger, that it is a full circle. Life is a full circle. It will come and hit back to you sooner or later in the ways that you cannot think of. And this is what Gurleen wants to say to the world. It's not a revenge. It's a sweet, sweet promise that I still loved you. I still love you. I loved you. And I'm sure that this story is going to be an eye opener for people to understand what the true meaning of love is, and how people maltreat the women, how it is being, treated as a stigma in the Indian society, where people need to stop talking about these things that stigmatize women to a level, and they don't come to this level even where I am. So I braved the storms, and this is how globally I've connected. And it is not only that I'm known for my divorce battle talks, I'm known for the lady who I am. The identity that I hold is powerful enough for a man to carry. I believe men fear me because I'm strong. How openly can I state that, it is difficult for men to even understand me, because at that level, when you're spiritually enlightened, you cannot let them know that you can visualize the future happening to you. So somewhere I feel that, at a young age, I gained the spiritual enlightenment, and I actually even visualized my divorce happening, to which my husband even said, were you insecure before getting married? I said, no, I was not insecure. I was insecure about the thoughts that you were having because you were immature. So somewhere that turned out to be very true, because he couldn't take the responsibilities of my rising high in the regimental center where he was posted. And I was the talk of the town as a confident lady, winning the crowns, to being the confident woman walking the ramp, and being, there on the stage as an MC. I feel that I had the best kept house, wherein people were talking about it and they were craving for it after I left the station, to which I am today. I think I am the uh, good soul walking on this planet to achieve not anything from anyone, but to, achieve my true potential within my own self. The energy that is there within me needs to be utilized properly for people, and they need to learn a lesson or two from someone who is positive, progressive, and spiritually enlightened as well. Because even this pandemic was visualized by me way before. So I believe that some souls walk on this planet for a purpose, and that purpose needs to be really, really highlighted, because somewhere we don't want to preach something that we have not practiced. At least I would not do that. And I am here on this walk with me because I want to state that we meet people for a reason. And if that reason was a divorce, then this is a reason why I'm here today, to not only talk about divorce, but talk about that confident lady and that Indian lady who's walking this path that is terrific enough, amazing enough, and will leave everybody spellbound, because I'm the one who's going to open up the selves of many people as a psychologist, Regilin, and I hope that I serve the purpose even higher.
That's right. Very powerful. Now tell us, what is your why that keeps you going?
Oh, that is wonderful. I think that is something, I would say it's a spiritual call of Lord above, and it is something that there's an inner voice. I do practice meditation to a level. So when I say that I practice meditation, it becomes for 5 hours or 6 hours, and I spiritually connect to people. Like if I had to connect to you, I would be connecting to you because there is a meaning. Like you said, your mom's name is Gurleen, right? So I felt that there is something, a connect with you. So that was there. There is an inner voice, there is some kind of telepathy, intuitive powers that I have, and they tell me that I have to connect to someone, and that only happens when I meditate. When I meditate from 3 a.m. to 5 a.m., that is the time when I feel that Lord is guiding me and angels are hovering around me to tell me that this is the person you need to connect and this is where you will transform someone, and this is it, lady, that you are going to be the next voice for the globe and you're going to walk that crown, because there are some people who still are sitting for listening to you and getting some kind of an inspiration from you. And being an Indian, if you can do that, if you can achieve it, there are many speakers around winning their crowns and achievements, but you are something different. And if people can realize that, oh, it is their happiness, and not only that, it is my happiness as well. So this meditation which I'm talking of is something that is involving good acts, speaking truth, being honest, and being upright and being up forth. If I can prove to be blunt to men and women around, to kids even, I think people can take me as a very, very rude, adamant lady. But then I am the one, I am Gurleen. I would never, never love to speak a lie. I am not at all manipulative. And that power comes when you want to see God, you see the God within you. If your body is a temple, believe you me, Regulin, people go to temples, people go to churches, and they confess there their problems. But somehow they need to realize that if they are not truthful to their own self, they can never, never, never progress in life. And that is one thing that I've achieved in my home. Before my mother went into an operation theater, her life has been gifted by Lord above to me on my birthday. My birthday is approaching on 31st of December, and it's a gift by Lord that I have visioned and I have conversed with God. What better can I say on this episode? That a walk with you and a walk with Lord was designed. People only read in the books that there will be a time when God will come and enlighten you. There will be a lot of light in your self, and I have achieved it. I have achieved it at a phenomenal age of 35. I've seen Lord. I can visualize what people are saying. I can at least tell people that this is the person who's right and this is the person who's wrong. Maybe people take me as a fool talking and expressing my heart out, but I would say, Regulin, it takes a lot. It takes a lot. And as an adult at the age of 36, if you are just upright, even the business loss you can suffer. You can have struggles, you can have thorns in your path, but then nothing beats Gurleen because she's always truthful. And even if someone offers me a lot of $1 million, I would just not go there, because I know what I've achieved and I know what I have to do. And I know that my country honor states that you have to be responsible to your own self, and that is what I'm doing. And it's not only for my country, it's for everybody around, that I can lit up their lives with that power, that energy that I'm holding. And not only this, I'm sure this episode will go viral after this, because this is something I'm talking of, is something, a superpower that makes Gurleen who she is.
I love it. Now tell us more about what gives you happiness in your life.
Oh, well, there are a lot many things that give me happiness. First of all, I think music is one thing that gives me happiness. Listening to English music has always been very, very near and dear to me, and inking down articles on love, relations, on behavior, because I'm too attached to human behavior. I have been witnessing people, I have been observing people very keenly. So I have a passion towards interior decoration. So I have been always, always involved in it. And as my mother was a great dancer and still is a great dancer, I believe that I have caught the genes from her. And whenever I'm stressed out or whenever I face the blues, whenever I have the lows, I feel that I am the one on the heels and dancing it and sharing it with friends and everybody liking it. And I love moving out with friends who are like minded. And I also love having a good time around with myself. That is what I would love to state, because people take loneliness as a depressive option, but I take loneliness as a peaceful drive to know your own self, where you were to where you are. So I have a lot of me time and a lot of saloon time when I feel that I need to have that self therapy. So I feel that that works wonders when you are knowing and loving yourself even more. I love everything I do, like from cleaning home to doing all the house chores to actually going on dates with men. I believe that I am fascinated by people around who actually are full of life and energy. But yes, I do believe that you have to be selective in the choices that you make in your life. And I truly, truly do not settle for less in life. So if I have to walk with someone, that someone has to be really very, very honest, has to be very powerful enough, and has to have that hands to hold me. So I give an open challenge to anyone who has that power to even come across me and offer me a good evening date. That is something that I will always love. And that is something that I feel that I have been as a child always liking colors in my life. So I love fashion, I love style. That's why I marketed fashion label Zameen Asmaan. So I model for them. And I truly feel that I empower the woman in style. Many people follow me for style, and I truly have become an icon for people to remember that I'm a role model for them now. So this is what I love. I love challenges. I love approaching people. I love socialization, and I love being a great speaker, because often I've seen that people love my voice madly. They feel that they are in love with it and they would love to listen more of me. And I feel when I was talking on Michelle Marat's episode on Beata's Meaningful Conversation in Denver, Colorado Springs, I was rated, number one, and it was an amazing experience to talk about. And viewers watching, 4,000 viewers watching it, downloads happening overnight. It was something giving me a push. Darling, you are amazing. You are going to rock everyone's show. And this is what makes Gurleen who she is. She loves every bit of who she is. She loves you, she loves everyone around, and she's there just to offer that love in every work she is doing. So being a psychologist becomes easier. But then even I have a friend named Gargi Halder. She's visually impaired, but I believe that she's also a god soul, and she has been kind enough with me, and I love her. And I love few of the friends who've stood by me. Nitin Kaul, he's a great chap. He has been standing there, right, making me who I am today, I believe. And I truly feel honored that I'm so blessed. There are so many fans and admirers of mine that overnight, even I'm getting a feeling that, oh my God, is Gurleen becoming a celebrity or public figure, which I'm already, but I am trying to take time to digest this, because I believe in being grounded. You have to actually stay there. You have to balance yourself. You cannot just fly away in the air thinking that you have attained this and you will, remain there. I feel being grounded is where you attain that level of contentment. You have to have the drive that push you, and that push will come when you face a failure yourself. No one will spoon feed anybody to achieve the success in life. Everybody has to love their own struggles to be who they are. And you must be knowing, Regulin, because you have been creating opportunities for people and inspiring a lot many souls. I'm sure that smile of yours is making me feel even more worth it, because I'm here on this show because of you. And if it would not have been you, Michelle, and others, I would not have been here, airing my voice. What am I for? I'm made for achieving bigger heights. I'm here to open the horizons. I'm here to connect, and I'm here to make you connect to many souls. And I love everybody who's watching and the ones who'll be watching this episode later. Because as an Indian, if I can achieve, I believe as a simple human being, you also can achieve. And that is something that Michelle has joined us in. Good morning, ladies. I love her. I love her. I love her to pieces. And this is something that she's been my mentor. She's been following me, liking my posts, and I am doing what I feel truly because of her. She's the one lady who have been connected and has been genuine enough and kind enough to be making me the woman I am today. And I feel so enlightened, so happy that I cannot even share that in words, Regilin, what it is to be who you are. Be your original self. Do not copy, imitate others, because when you copy, when you imitate, you lose that part of yourself that dies a deeper death. And that is where depression hits. And that is where people feel lonely and they don't want to even ask for help. So, my dear friends, if you're watching this or walk with me, you need to understand that there has to be someone in your life whom you can fall back on as a friend, as a guide, as a mentor, as a coach, as someone who you can actually say that, yes, we are walking a path that is going to be progressive and contributing to a larger section of the network that you are having. Please shun those people who betray you. Please shun those people around you who cannot provide you that positivity, because somewhere you need to realize your own worth before you can put tags of worth to anybody else. Before pointing out fingers to anybody else, I believe raise your own bar. Create your own friendship with yourself. You are your biggest enemy, you are your biggest friend. And that is what I state even today. Even after 10 years, I will be stating the same. Even if there is some man coming in my life, I would still be there as the same Gurleen I am today. I would not love to change myself for anybody, Reguline, and that is what I love about myself. The voice that will reckon, the times to come, the story that has been inked, an eternal one that will remain for the generations to be read. And I feel that I am the one who will move the ball of fire for others. I totally believe.
Amen. Very powerful. Now, what is your best advice to the audience for walking with purpose and living a life of happiness?
The best advice would be realize your passions. Realize that you have a passion within you. Realize that you have weaknesses inside you. Pick up a pen, jot down the 5 weaknesses and 5 strengths that you hold on to you, to understand who you are truly, and never, never betray yourself, because somewhere when you are marking these down, just accept the fact that you are wrong also, and you can commit failures also, because somewhere when you are accepting your black side, you are gaining an edge to the wisdom that is even higher. That's a spiritual power guiding you. Darling, if you have been wrong, there has to be a right happening after that wrong. So never give up. My advice is that when you see that you've lost it, is the time to realize that a clock is ticking. It doesn't stop. Even if the cell or the battery goes down, you have to recharge or you have to change the cell to know that the needles are still giving you that support, that hope that the light is on. And so I feel that the mindset bulb should be always on. It should never get fused off with the thoughts that are depressive, negative. And to the audience who's watching, I totally would love to let them know that if you can do one kind act of helping anyone's soul in a single day, do that. Help people, help people generously. Do not think of being self-centered every time, because in business, I know there is a lot of manipulation. We need to earn money, we need to be financially independent, but somewhere, if you forget the Lord above, you will forget living, and you will forget how to even live in a better way. You will die a death which you will not realize, but you will realize later what you are losing on is the act of gratitude which you will follow, and you will follow that wealth which will come will be in abundance.
Amen. Gurleen, thank you so much for being a guest on Walk With Me podcast. Now, where can the audience find you?
Oh, well, they can always connect to me at gurleenkhokhar@gmail.com. And that is where they can always connect to me on the Facebook as well. They can always connect to me on Instagram, Gurleen Khokhar Inspirer and Good Psychologist. I have 2 accounts on Instagram. People can follow me up. And as always, they can always connect to Regalin. And I'm sure that she would always let the souls from Florida and elsewhere connect to me as well. Because that is something powerful enough that if that was a walk, this is defining enough that this walk from your side is going to be a walk for others to walk with me as well. And please, I invite all of the viewers to Deep Talks as well, because this isn't going to stop. This is going to start. It isn't the end, it is the beginning.
Amen. That's right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to check out Gurleen on all of her social media handles, and that's Gurleen Khokhar. And again, Gurleen, thank you so much for being a guest on Walk With Me podcast. You have a blessed day.
That's wonderful. Thanks a lot, Regalin. I wish you all the very best for your endeavors, and I'm sure you're going to rock and do terrific work. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Likewise.